Ooh.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, darling. Welcome.
My name is Chubi.
And I'm Vanessa. And welcome to No
No
Filters,
filters, no
No Fears.
fears
Ooh.
podcast.
Episode 20.
So today's elephant is a one,
Ah, shoot.
three,
A
two,
two, a two, a two,
2.5,
a
two.
2.5.
So it's
A
a
two
two.
and the butt of an elephant.
Okay, so it's a two.
Good with the
Can I
season.
believe it is 20th episode?
Yeah, man.
And it was thanks
Yeah,
to you
man.
all, because if it wasn't because of our audience and people just trying to communicate with us, we would never be here,
Yeah.
with new topics.
I'm growing. Yep.
Yes, the growing part, especially the growing part.
Oh my
It's,
gosh, I'm
it's
so excited.
I know I
And
am.
and we've had and the episodes have gotten more and more interesting because we have the balance of like fun time, right? But then we gotta get real and remember that there's a world, uh, you know, around us, and that
Mhm.
there's shit happening. Um, so we're gonna talk about go back to the recap of the episodes for this last season, from episode 10 all the way to episode 20.
Well,
Well, 10 was the big pachanga, the last one.
yeah, so it's from 11 to now. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Oh my God,
Um,
do we remember what episode 11 was?
hold on,
Anybody?
because I'm like trying to look here and I'm failing because
We're
it's
both
not. I
we're
have
both
16. Hold on, I have calendars.
So 11 was crystal clear. So
Oh, I love that
it
episode.
was yeah, communication and honesty, which we both have been doing better at it
Yes,
amongst ourselves.
ourselves. Wait, I think did I put full screen? I did. I put us on full screen now on my computer. We look so cool. And I would like you to know that the background, the balloons look like they're orange. So Halloweeny colored.
Yes, that is so true. I hope you guys got the theme of it. Since next week is Halloween, we
Mhm.
decided to do a Halloweeny theme
Yes.
episode, big party, because we both are fans of Halloween. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Because it is the best holiday.
Of
It's
the
the best
year.
holiday. It is. I here's fun fact. I'm gonna share your Christmas thing because
Oh,
I think it's like my favorite thing. Chewy, every time goes to mention Halloween, actually mentions Christmas. And it's because Halloween is Chewy's Christmas.
it is. It is my Christmas. But everybody's like confused at one point because they're like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "I meant Halloween."
We
And
were talking about our episodes the other day, and I totally like flipped the entire schedule because I thought that Chewy was talking about like recording an episode in December for Christmas, and I was like, "But wait, I thought we were uh,
yeah,
and and then they were like, "Oh no, no, no! I meant Halloween. Don't listen to me."
right, exactly. It's okay. I'm trying to get over that. It's like Halloween
No,
brain.
I've already like established in my brain when I hear Christmas come out of your mouth, I go bloop, 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 Halloween.
Hopefully, if I do talk about actual Christmas, if
Yeah,
I do,
Halloween.
if it ever comes out of my mouth, I don't know.
Never. All
What
right.
did what did we learn from episode 11 about about communication and honesty? What did you got out of it throughout, from then until now? Like, how
I
has it
mean,
evolved? I
for
guess.
me, always like honesty and transparency has always been super important. And it became even more critically important in my life after I got divorced, right? Because of how all of that went down. And then even more so within the last couple of years in my life because of how my relationship dynamics go. It's become more important. And just after that episode, I recognized that I still, um, as much as it meant to me, I still kind of doctored things in protecting other people, which took away their choice or their ability, or that ability for there to be communication. So I'm trying. I've That's what I've learned, and that's what I've been working on, and it's even more important to me now more than ever.
To me
How about
also,
you?
I mean, again, like we spoke, yeah, to me communications has always been important. Like I've never been the good at communicating my emotions when I was younger. I was always mad. But I got to the point in my life where I wanted to change that. And I realized that putting my energy in such a negativity, like a negative space, wasn't getting me anywhere. But now,
Mm,
yeah, it's important to me. Like if I'm like I'm sad, I'm gonna try to express it the best way that I can and try
yeah,
to let you know. But it's a step, baby steps.
right. I mean, and between us and our communication, like I think we're in general we've been like that from the get. But
Right.
I think, and then having had the talk of the episode, and every episode connects to one another, so it always gets mentioned again, and it keeps going deeper and deeper into your knowledge of how you want to communicate. We know not to get upset with one another. We know that
Right.
it's like we're talking and we feel our way, and it's going to cause a reaction in the other person, but we can't take it personal, right? um and we're responsible for ourselves and our actions and how we can fix whatever we've wronged, but we're not responsible for someone's feelings entirely, because they're going to feel how they're going to feel. We
At
can,
the end, right.
yeah, the most we can do is be considerate and responsive versus reactive to their feelings. And that to me is still hard, and like in general with like, not not with like you, because we've recently had talks about it, and I was like, okay, tú sabes que la cagaste, métete la lengua en el butt.
Right.
Right? But like when it comes to like other people, like my friends or even my mom, the tendency to want to be reactive, right? And
Right.
have my feels overpower the conversation, like just let my feelings like take over and not really listen, is very real. So I'm like, take deep breaths, pay attention, pay attention. It's hard.
Right. And I also agree with us. I mean, we've been like that since the beginning. Always trying to like when I'm confused as freak, I'll let you know. I'm like, listen, I don't know if it's because I woke up. It's too early for me. For my brain is not functioning, but I don't understand. Can you explain? And then when we do get it, like we spoke
Right.
before, we're like, oh, got it. Okay, no problem.
Moving on.
With my friends, I'm always very I communicate 100%. I'm like I let it straight through. This is what's going on. This is what's happening. We need to fix this. We need a way to go around it. Other than that, I don't like it. I'm not happy, and there
Yeah.
needs to be something fixed for both of us. Other than that, I don't have time for bullshit. Like if you don't want to communicate, if you don't have time to communicate, just don't be in limbo. Don't let the other person in limbo. Don't ghost them, and
Absolutely.
communicate. Communicate.
Absolutely.
Even if it's just, hey, I do not have time right now, or I really just I need my own time because I'm in my own world and it's just I don't know how to express this. That's it. Even that.
Yeah.
And that goes for every relationship. It's just even if you don't know how to communicate, say that I don't know how to communicate.
Yes. Oh my God, that is so vital. Why don't people?
Because
The thing is, we're. It's not like we're taught this in school. Sometimes we're not even taught this at home. To communicate that you don't know how to communicate is something that we also need to be taught. I follow this person on Instagram called The Open Space. She's awesome, and she gives a lot of information. And a lot of what she talks about is that it's giving us kind of words or phrasing to use to express our difficulty in dealing with certain feelings, or dealing with how to communicate certain things. And that's exactly what it is. I'm feeling crappy. I don't have any fancy words for it except crappy, and I want to talk about it, but I don't know how to communicate what I'm saying because I don't want it to be a problem. I just want a solution, right? Because sometimes we're also afraid of saying anything because we think it's gonna then start a fight or start like trigger the
right,
other person. You're like, I'm not trying to trigger you. I want you to know that I'm coming from a place of love. I just don't know how else to express it except these words in this way, which I know are triggering to you, but it's how I talk.
right,
So if there's a better way that I can get that message across to you, please let me know. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. We all speak in different ways, and our intentions, sometimes if someone really knows you, they know where your intentions lie. And if we're upset, sometimes we don't care where someone's intentions lie.
Right.
Like, we just we go
Right.
there.
And also trying to communicate that even if you don't know what you are trying to say, just try to say however you whatever words you can muster and say, um uh, when I get the words to talk to you and how I could express myself, I will let you know.
Yeah,
I will talk to you. I will reach out to you. But
but
if
at
you
least that person knows that there's something pending,
right. Pero
right?
if you don't communicate with them saying, hey, I will get back to you on how I'm feeling, once I get all the words to write it down to you, I will let you know, then you're just being inconsiderate also for that person's feeling, because now they know that there's something wrong, but you're not communicating that. So
Mm.
I don't know, just communicate, people. It's always
Keep
hard. I
it
know it's
crystal
hard.
clear. Trans
Right.
The thing is, so I've mentioned this person before, and we've uh talked about uh their blog posts and stuff. My friend Lucas, uh, he mentions on his site everywhere. He is one of the most transparent people I've ever met in my life. And it kind of is a reinforcing factor for me, knowing people like that, like you, and having people like that around me, that I'm like, okay, so I'm not crazy for wanting this or having this expectation of this level of transparency and honesty and communication with people, that we can expect it even of businesses. He puts it on his website about being transparent about, pricing, about different things. And you start to see it in other businesses as well. So it's not just in day-to-day communication, it's being um an ethical communicator, an ethical um uh employer, employee,
Right.
and business. So that way, I mean, the people around you also, uh, we start cultivating that culture, a culture where it's okay to be honest and transparent, because it's not going to mean you're going to lose something, or you're going to be harassed, because that's what happens sometimes, right? There's varying opinions, or feelings take over, and there's backlash.
Right. And also depending on what it is that they're going through, their shame, which is our next episode.
Boom! Look at that. That was a segue.
which
Damn, Chubby.
which is episode 12, and that's why communication also becomes a little harder for people, because they have this in their mind that you can't talk about certain things, you can't say this out loud, and you just bottle it up, and you feel shame afterwards, or like, if I talk about it, I'm going to talk about it later when it doesn't matter anymore, but then you're
Yeah.
drowning yourself in a cup when you were
Yes,
able to talk to someone,
absolutely.
and it
And
becomes hard.
and shame has not just mental repercussions, not just repercussions in your relationships. There's physical repercussions,
Right.
like legitimate medical studies of having prolonged, you know, when your mind is overwhelmed with these feelings of pressure, of shame for who you are, how you are, incidents, whatever the case may be, that's an automatic stressor in your life, because then you're working hard to fight against not being those things because it's shameful. And then you're wearing yourself down mentally and emotionally. And eventually it starts taking its toll on you physically.
Yeah, you start losing the weight, you can't sleep, your eating habits change, and you start stressing about every little thing. And then you eventually, like you said, are hurting yourself, and you are putting yourself in a state that you shouldn't have been to begin with.
Yeah.
But because there are not open, safe spaces for people to talk in other people,
Yeah.
that's where it also becomes hard.
Absolutely. And then, of course, there's the shame that gets projected onto others, because you feel a particular kind of shame and you've dealt with it, or you've covered it up, right? You now project the ills of that shame onto someone else who might be okay with it, or who might be struggling with that shame, but now you're pushing even more pressure onto that. And now you're harming someone else.
Right.
Not cool. Not cool. Oh,
13 is superstitions, which,
oh, how appropriate. Very superstitious. So you
where's
can't
how
see it. I have a little like little skulls and a little Frankenstein there, and there's my little
we love
ghost.
your pumpkin.
Yellow
And
pumpkin.
yes.
Little
And
pumpkin.
that's the thing. I mean, I'm a very superstitious person. Like I was telling you earlier about my dreams. My dreams do tell me, yeah, it's not like it's reading my future.
Right.
But they let me know like at least 80% of what's about to happen. It might not happen the exact way, but the results are the same.
Yeah.
So when it comes to my dreaming or seeing signs or things like that, I believe because I've seen it.
You've
Like,
seen it come
right.
happen.
And I'm like, I just dream about this, and all of a sudden this just popped up, and I'm like, are you serious? If you don't believe when all the signs are there, then there's a problem. You just refuse to believe.
Like yes. Little superstitions. And you know what? Even if they're not like super real, like the ones from theater that we talked about during that episode, I feel like it creates a sort of community, right? At least it
Mhm.
has in the theater world. Like those kinds of superstitions that you talk about and you're like, ay, que bobería, but you do it anyway. It creates a sense of like ensemble and togetherness. So there's
Right,
that
because
too.
now you have something to share with somebody else, and it's like it
Yeah.
becomes your thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have those things with anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody, but no one is like that around me. They're not superstitious. They're like, it's life, and I'm like,
Well,
okay,
I'm like that about signs. I'm with you there on the signs. I look for the signs. And numbers. Numbers is big for me. Numbers appear a lot for me. Like repetitive numbers. I
yeah.
don't know what they mean, pero que aparecen, aparecen.
Well, that's why you do your Google research just to
I
make sure.
gotta Google research my numerologies.
Yeah, I have a book on dreams and one on numerology, and I got
My
my
friend Angie is really big on the dreams thing because especially if I have like a recurring dream, I know to call her and be like, I need you to look in your book because there's a cliff. What does this mean? Right? Or whatever the case may be.
and like I said, like if you pay attention to it, I mean, I guess if you believe in it, it will come true or whatever people want to say about it. That's dismissive to me. I'm like, no, I generally think that this me dream is trying to tell me something because your higher power is working through something and it's trying to tell me something. So I believe.
And it's also your subconscious. It's also like things that maybe you've been avoiding, or
Right.
maybe those signs or things that have popped up, right? The red flags that we all talk about. We've registered it, but not our logical mind did not register it.
Right,
The
right.
subconscious is like, hello, this is what it is. So like, you know, gotta listen
Right.
to our dreams.
Fears and other things, are there while you're sleeping, blah, 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 blah. So, hey, if you want to believe in it, great. If you don't, I guess not, right?
Then don't do it. I'm trying to adjust this light here. That was episode 13.
Yeah.
14 was addiction.
14
No,
was addiction. My goodness. That was a very heavy and emotional topic,
it was.
especially the bomb you dropped, which I didn't even realize, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And if you guys saw episode 14, you guys know I mean, you guys don't know who we're talking about, but you
We
guys
know
know
what? The bomb.
what, yeah. And it was a
Yeah.
very heavy realization to know someone that were addicted to something and you didn't even have a freaking clue until, you know, the
Yeah.
unfortunate happened. It's like, it's crazy.
It really is. And addiction is a growing it's never something that's on the decline.
Right,
Unfortunately, in our community and our culture. When I say our culture, that can be Latino culture, that can be culture of United States, that can be any kind of culture. Our communities, period. A worldwide situation. Addiction is not something that's necessarily in the decline. We somehow find a way of becoming addicted to something else, something new, technology. It doesn't just have to be, drugs or something like that.
Right.
Uh, a, a particular There's addiction to people. There's addiction to a particular person, where that borderline obsession with someone.
Right.
So addiction is never something that's in the decline as long as you're self-aware and aware of how much these things or this new toy, new project, new whatever is taking up your life. That's
Right.
that's the important thing to be, so that it doesn't cross into that unhealthy addiction.
Yeah, that's why I stay away from a bunch of things that I know for a fact are like, oh my god. Even alcohol, I try to stay away from it since there was alcohol addiction in my family. I mean, I drink, whenever there's like a gathering.
Yeah,
Now with the pandemic, not much. I don't drink
menos
alone.
que menos. Yeah,
Yeah, so I do know the fact that I am hyper aware and self aware of those things that I know for a fact are gonna get me to be like, okay, I want more of that. Like just like
yeah,
medication. I don't take medication for anything. I don't care for it. I'd
yeah.
rather find natural remedies that will get me through it. Other than that,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
scary. It's a scary slope to know that you could go down to, and it's like I do not want to think about that.
I agreed.
That's where the love languages episode
Oh, love
15.
language. The cat is part of my costume.
Yeah. Yes.
She's also being very difficult today.
She wants just
Uh,
love or
she wants to love languages. She wants love languages.
have you learned anything from that episode? I mean, have you from now until then, like, have you noticed? Oh my God, this is a love language that I didn't think I needed, or like you realize,
Yes.
oh,
I didn't realize. Number one, I paid more attention to the fact that we all tend to be take our love languages and love that way,
mm,
right? And expect that same response that we would have to that show of affection, when maybe the other person's love languages are different. There's that. And also, I I've learned that words of affirmation, right, are more important to me than I thought. Like, I'm in a long distance relationship. So all we have sometimes is that kind of communication of words.
right,
So um having those like reaffirming the love, or the missing, or the care, or the I'm proud of you, right? That's massively important. And I hadn't recognized that about myself. I knew for sure quality time, still a
right,
big thing, and for sure physical touch is there for me, because I'm a hugger. I like the
right,
touchings
right,
and the squeezings. But when you don't have that, I'm also a very auditory person. Hello, my obsession with music, so I'm an auditory person. So hearing those affirmations or reading them via text is a way of feeling connected and appreciated and loved for me, that I had not really tapped into before. How about
yeah.
you?
Like for me, I learned that how they say actions are louder than words.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they are. So acts of service, but matching it to what you're saying and actually showing that, because words of affirmation are obviously, I mean, are they matter.
Oh, say it louder for the people in the back. Yes.
They
Yes.
matter to me. So
I
you
say that
connect,
all the time.
because it's true. Like, yes, great. You say you love me, or you want to do this for me, or that you
Show
miss
me.
me. Show me that you do. Show me that you do care. It doesn't have to be anything about buying me elaborate gifts. I don't care about that. Una notica, just
Put
write
thought
something
into it.
down, a song, a video,
El detalle. El
a meme.
detalle.
I don't
Dedicate
care.
me a song. Yeah.
Something that made you think of me, but show me that you do. So I learned that acts of service are important in correlation to the words of affirmation for me. So I learned that. But
Mm.
yes,
Yeah. Oh
uh,
no, totally.
quality
I say
time.
it all the time. There's nothing sexier than effort.
Right, exactly. Like freaking do it.
Yep.
But
Te
people,
quiero, te amo y te adoro. And then they show up and it's like, "Mwah."
right? There's so much for carrying adore me y toda esa mierda. Like I don't see it.
I love toda esa mierda.
Like, and I understand that people can only show up to how they're capable of loving and their
Yeah.
own love languages. Pero coño, try a little bit harder.
But, I totally understand that and I agree. Somebody can only meet you where they're at. But when there is, I feel,
Mm-hmm.
I, I am not, what are we not? We
There,
are not therapists. But I feel as the humans with the experiences and the loves
right.
that when you love someone and when the intention is to demonstrate that love, to share, to build, right? To 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 invest in that relationship, whatever kind of relationship that may be.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what your love language is. If you have an understanding of theirs as well and you know them well enough to know what's important to them and what would make them happy,
Mm-hmm.
not at a detriment to yourself, not sacrificing yourself, but you go outside of your comfort zone a little bit
Right.
to show them in the way that they can understand and that is meaningful to them, that they matter, that you care, that you put the intention, the thought, the effort into showing them that affection, right? And then in turn, they will know how difficult that was for you because it's not in your love
Yeah.
language. And
Mm-hmm.
then it's extra meaningful. And then it's like, oh,
Right. It
because
touches
you
all
love
of you.
me. And then this beautiful cycle of people just being lovely for each other. I
Yeah,
like it.
but it all comes down to being honest with yourself also. Am I gonna try hard enough to love this person the
Yeah.
way that I know that they deserve? I know I'm uncomfortable with it, but I'm gonna go that extra mile. Are you gonna do that?
Right. And
Or
it's also, but it's also that conversation of like, okay, I can't do this particular thing because it really is outside of my comfort zone. But understanding those boundaries,
right,
them boundaries, right? Because you don't want to go something outside of your own boundary. It's something that you're willing to. I don't want to say it's a sacrifice, but it's like it's a gift. I don't
right,
think it's a sacrifice. It's a gift to go outside of what you typically would, but also letting that person know, hey, if I can't do this, it's not because I don't care. It's just I don't know how or I don't
communication.
feel comfortable. Yeah. But if you can do it, go for it without the communication. It's a beautiful surprise.
Right, exactly. And then they will see. But
Yep.
sometimes people are like, "Oh, this is too much. I'm not willing to." So were you actually meaning it from your heart that you were willing to do
Yeah.
that? Are you
Yeah.
lying to yourself? Like if that's the thing, if you're gonna start lying to yourself about what you want or what you need or what you are able to give, then it's not gonna go anywhere.
Exactly. Don't
Se jodió la
don't lose
cosa.
don't lose you trying to be for somebody else.
Exactly. But yeah, in order for anything to work out, I just feel like just communicate with the person a
Yep.
100%. I know being that vulnerable, it's scary, but it's worth it at the end when you are
Oh yeah.
honest. So
Oh yeah.
just like just like episode 16, peace, love, unity, and respect. That all
Boom. You are with the segways today.
we're learning. We're learning.
God.
It is funny because it is part of that. It is part of your everyday life. That, like we just talked about, it is part of your all your relationships,
Yeah.
and it's crazy. Like thinking about it.
I know it's really funny because it's very much we're talking about peace, love, and plural. I'm just
Peace,
gonna say
love,
plural
flirt, just
because that's a
flirt.
lot of letters. Um, it's funny because it's so associated with rave culture and drugginess and the whole thing, but it's really a common courtesy. Like it's a human thing. It should just be the standard. Peace,
Right.
love, unity, and respect for your fellow man, for
For
your fellow
yourself.
animals, for your damn planet. As I throw into my recycling bin.
Yes. Yeah, and
Recycle,
especially
recycle, people.
yes, recycle, upcycle, reuse, reduce. But especially for yourself what matters most, because if you're not being that to yourself, you can't go anywhere.
Yep,
You
yep, yep, yep,
can't
yep.
love the other person. You can't be like that for anybody else. You're como se dice, your missing out. Like, no, 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 that's not the word I'm looking for. Like, you're just like, jipping. Like, you're just like,
Yeah, you're giving yourself the short end of the stick.
exactly. There we go. That's what you're doing. You're giving yourself the end of the stick and the short end of the stick, and it's like, why? Why did I do this to myself?
Yep.
Knowing damn well you didn't need to.
Yeah, and I'm sure we're gonna have a self-care, self-love episode, but like along with practicing radical honesty, right? To go along with the transparency episode and all of that. I think that the next big thing for me in this time has been uh, uh pushing towards practicing radical self-love.
Mm,
And that has a lot to do with that plur mentality, being at peace, mental peace, right? Or peace with yourself and acceptance and the love and the unity with and the unity amongst yourself, mind, spirit, body, and respecting yourself, right?
right.
And not being the people pleaser, right? So all of those things, and when you then project it out in dealing with people and creating those dynamics, and it reflects.
Right. I mean, like we always say, why do we always say baby steps? Baby steps still lead you forward.
Yeah.
So, doing that for yourself, being honest with yourself, respecting others, and like I always say, you know how some people are like, oh, there's a negative, there's something they don't approve of or they don't like, and instead of just scrolling, they have to put their negativity onto the comment, like start
You don't like
commenting.
it, don't look. You got
Just
nothing nice to say, don't say anything.
keep on scrolling. Keep on fucking scrolling. Nobody's asking you for your 2 cents. And guess what? That's bringing peace to yourself and peace to somebody else. If you have the problem, internalize that, write it down, try to figure out why you have a problem with that.
And I have an issue with what you're like, absolutely. Because if it's something, if it's causing you harm, I can understand. But if it's someone's post that's not literally causing you harm or
Right.
anyone else harm, it's like, it's their body. They're doing their thing. Why? And you don't like it? Why are you following? Why is it coming up on your feed?
Right, exactly. Why?
And if you don't want it there, unfollow, move on, scroll on. But
Right.
you taking the time to be nasty, that's a whole nother animal.
That's a lot of energy, one. And two, you don't love yourself because there is something internally going on with you that made you be like, screw this person, I don't like what they're doing. Maybe you feel like you wanted to do that but you can't, so you're projecting onto them because you can't do it.
Now, if someone's posting like racist,
Oh no,
hateful
yeah.
things, I can understand. But even then, I would be more prone to like slide into their DMs and be like, "Do you recognize that you're a racist piece of shit?"
Right. I
Rather
mean,
than like put them on blast on the thing because it's clearly obvious. But I feel like I'll accomplish more writing to you one on one
right.
than like on the thing, and then it begins this whole thing of everybody and 500,000 comments. What are we achieving? Nothing. A big old cycle of caca.
Right.
Hashtag caca. No more.
Right. And by, I feel also like what you just said, DMing them personally and be like, hey, that one will create a space for them to think, or them tell you to go fuck yourself, which is either way, at least is making them think like, okay, so I'm not saying that your opinion is wrong, it's just that you're racist, so that is wrong.
Right. And the thing is, if nothing else, it
So
gives you a foot to stand on of like, I don't need your hate back. And if they respond with hate, well, that's to be expected. But I'm giving you the respect of not putting you on blast in public, because this is also my personal opinion that your comments were very hurtful and I don't think you're looking at it from this perspective. I'm talking like people, not like, oh, slide into their DMs and be like, you a piece of blah, 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 blah.
right.
Like, hey, do you recognize that this is, you're saying this and this is ignorant or this is whatever? Some people just need to hear it nice and soft. If they don't hear you when you're screaming, they're not. If they don't hear you when you're talking soft, they're definitely not going to hear you when you're screaming at
Right.
them.
Like I always say,
People will learn when they're going to learn.
spread love, don't spread hate. I'm like that. Like, yeah, I may have my opinions, but this is why the circle that I have I mean, there's not people that are like freaking homophobic or racist or assholes in that sense where they're being negative. You know, like what's that saying? Your tribe, your vibe attracts your tribe.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are the type of people we want in our circles. You know, spread all the love. You know, and unity. That's where it comes. You know, all the people in that think the same.
And everybody's gonna have their opinions, and not every opinion is correct
All
or
right,
ethical or kind. But we come into our knowledge, our knowing, right? The consciousness at the moment we have to.
right,
And those hateful people in the world that continue to promote hate, that continue to propagate hate in however way they see fit, are going to learn the lesson in the harshest of ways.
right,
You can call it karma, you can call it whatever you want. And the saying is tiempo al tiempo,
right,
right? The more the collective consciousness grows that, you know, um, oppression and racism and ableism and all of these things that cause separation and cause hate and cause people to feel less than in any way, right? The more that consciousness grows and we are aware of those things and start putting the reasons and the solutions, right, versus just the problem, the more the people that are causing the problem are going to realize I'm the minority in this situation. I
right.
better get with the program, right? And we know it's been years and the change has not been as fast or as much as it should be, but we can't lose faith or hope and go crazy.
That's why we have to dismantle everything piece by piece.
Yeah.
You know, to spread more love. Like people might say, "Oh, that is so much work to do." I'm like, "Yeah, but I rather spread more love than all this hate that's already here." You know, we need to diminish it because if not,
And
vamos
I
a llegar
mean,
al tiempo que, like you
yeah.
said, we're gonna be more separated than ever.
And I mean, our happy little hippie hearts. We understand that it's a journey, and there's a lot of work to be done, a lot of red tape, and a lot of things. We're not boas, but it's hard. It's hard, and what you want is for the right to shine and the love to shine. Oh, it's a journey.
Oh, right. We know for a fact that yeah, we may hope and want the better and the brighter, but we know that we are in dark times, and we
Mhm.
know that this is history is going to repeat itself, and there's going to be people like us out there in the future doing the same thing. But we have to
And
try,
hopefully by then it'll be less and less.
right? Hopefully, you know. But we have
Yeah.
to start now. Like
Yeah.
my saying is like, you know, readers today, future leaders tomorrow. You know, and that comes from reading, because you know how I say that reading is essential, and we need to get educated in order for us to want a better world, to spread all the love that we talk about in Plur, because it is a global thing.
Yeah.
So
And I hear that saying of like it's not going to happen overnight. I understand. You're right. It's not going to happen overnight. But the negative connotation of that, it's like you can't start now or like don't
mhm,
expect change. I expect the change. I understand it's not going to happen as quickly as I would like it to or in the quantity of change that needs to happen, but don't squash it by saying like it's going to take forever because it sounds like you don't want to put in the work. We all got to put in
right,
the work.
they're
Yeah.
being dismissive because they don't see the light at the end of this tunnel, and there is, pero poquito a poquito llegamos a somewhere. We will get somewhere, you
Yep.
know, by getting all the justices that we've gotten so far since our first episode to today. There has been a lot, and you know that, you know,
Absolutely.
and it just takes just two of us to get two other people to do it, and two more people, and two more people, and two more people, and it
Hmm.
becomes global.
Yep.
But if you're just gonna say it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna take, oh, it's gonna be longer than overnight or whatever. Yeah, we know that. We know that. We know that. But
Yes, but
don't be like that.
that's what I'm saying. Like, why reinforce what everybody already knows?
Right.
We know that, and we see the caca. Well, we we're gonna reinforce the solution, the things that need to be done.
Yeah,
not
like
highlight the problem. The problem is already there. We know the problem,
to me, it's
right?
like
The
telling
cycle
people
of
like,
change.
yeah, you do. To me, it's like telling these people, I'm like, what are you gonna do? Que tú estás hablando tu boca. What are you gonna do to make the change? What are you gonna do today to have a better tomorrow?
Heard, heard.
And this is why music is important because there's a lot of music in there that talks
I'm
about.
just gonna let you do all the segues because I am loving this. That was smooth like butter.
I'm trying. Oh my god, I can't.
And that is why music is important. Boom. Even though it's
Oh my
17, was a
god, we laughed
music
so hard.
Monday.
Mira, I turned red. Oh god. Okay, we're
Ay,
good.
Dios. It was a
But it's true.
music Monday. It is true.
But it's true.
It
There's
was
a
music.
lot of music that I love out there, and that talk about change, that talk about wanting a better world and how we could do it. And besides being music lifting you up, it puts you in a good mood and then it motivates you. So yeah, everything is like you said, everything is intertwined, everything goes together from episode one until now. We had music that spoke to our souls about our episodes, that made us think, damn, like this is a Halloween episode,
Giving you a little, I'm going to give you a little background music.
there's a lot of music. Like this is a Halloween episode, but we know that there's a lot of music out there that gets us going. Like all these Halloween music out there, and all of this other music that we could listen to, that's just gonna put you in the mood. All those
Legit.
political. There's a lot of political songs out there that some people are like, I don't want to hear that, and I'm like, okay, it's not your cup of tea, but it's mine. I'm gonna listen
Yeah.
to it. And listen, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I believe that politics shouldn't be music, depending on how it's being made or put into. But music is life. Music,
I mean, music is a form of expression,
it is. It's art.
and people
It
will
is.
express themselves however they want. If you listen to it, then it's you clearly that's your opinion and that music speaks to you. If you don't, then you don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there's this song by the Dixie Chicks. Oh wait, the Chicks, that yeah, they dropped the Dixie because they
Oh,
realized, yeah.
yeah.
But we all know who the Dixie Chicks are, called Not Ready to Make Nice. They wrote it, I think, by President Bush at the time, because he said
Oh,
some shit, and yeah, so they wrote this song. Beautiful, I love it, but I didn't think
um,
that it was a political song until I actually read the story behind it or whatever. But she's literally telling him to go fuck himself. That well, not literally with the words, but
right, right, right. But still,
they're saying that you feel threatened by us because we made a song, and you literally are telling us we can't sing anymore. They did lose audiences because of that, but they're back. But you see what music can do also, besides a movement.
yeah. I mean, Nina Simone
Mm,
is one of the most that comes to my mind of an activist who used her music to propel her activism, to
right.
propel her message. And all her music was about giving a voice to her people and to bring awareness, right? Billie Holiday's Strange Fruit
Oh yes. Oh,
became famous for her beautiful music, her beautiful jazz, but saw, these horrific lynchings happening and made a beautiful metaphoric song, right? But
strange.
sticking it, saying this is bullshit, right? And because that song breaks my heart every time I cry. I cry.
When I first heard Strange Fruit, I was in high school. I was like 16, I think, or something.
It's eerie. It's
I was like, what the fuck am I listening to? One and two, it was so deep, and I was like crying because I could not. You feel it, you know, and that's what music does. It does move you in ways that you can't even describe.
what is it? Hey now, what's that sound? Everybody knows what's like it. That's also an activist song. Like Music can help you heal from a broken heart. It helps you through loss, whether it be through death or just moving away from another person. It helps you in your joyful moments, in your graduations. Everybody has their graduation song, your quinceañera, and it helps groups find a voice, right?
Right.
How many songs aren't written to give voice to um body positivity, to give a voice to the LGBTQ community, to give a voice to the Black Lives Matter movement. So movements have their songs. Different activists uh choose a singer to represent them, a songwriter to write something for that. Todo existe. Oh, music.
Para le gustos los colores.
Yeah,
Like, for example, I don't like rap, but there's certain rap like I like from the 90s rap. I don't like today's rap because 90s rap didn't have meaning, you know. But
right.
to me, that's just my opinion, and I respect anybody that listens to it. Good for you. But I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh my god, no, I can't be friends with you because of your music choice. No, it's okay. To each their
Right.
own. See, not spreading hate. Just let it go.
Just don't listen to the songs you don't like.
Right, exactly.
Like for example, I know that Chubby skipped over every Hamilton song I put.
Nah, I didn't even get to see it.
Okay, man, I'm teasing you. Oh, I
But
have this open.
at
I
the
have
end,
Fleetwood Mac playing in the background because I'm dressed very witchy, and to me, Stevie Nicks is like my favorite witchy lady of the world.
it's okay, Stevie Wicks. That works too. That's your name, Stevie Wicks.
I'm Stevie Wicks because I love candles.
There you go. There you go. You're not ripping anybody off. You're giving them rendition to her. Be like
You know
Stevie
what?
Wicks.
Now I'm gonna start a candle stand and be like, "Buy my candles by Stevie Wicks."
Oh my.
That's hilarious.
¿Te
I
imaginas?
actually want to make some candles. I want to learn how to make it.
Oh
All
my
right.
god! Now that you talk about, oh my god, I am gonna put their links in the bio because I love them. I recently bought a candle
Mm-hmm.
and they make it by hand. It's beautiful, and
Look at me. Look at me. It don't get witchier than this. We're gonna burn some incense.
ooh, there we go.
I bet.
Oh my god, where are they?
I love incense.
I love incense too. Oh my god, when was the freaking last time?
That's why, like you guys, when we do those giveaways and stuff, part of what we give away because we're gonna be creating candy and putting it on the thing. So this is an uncandied lighter. But when we send you your candy lighters, you get some free incense.
We love
and
incense.
I tell you, we'll tell you like what the incense is, so you can go out and get it. Do you have a favorite incense, Juby?
Actually, I do not. But anything that would not make me sick or make me sneeze.
What
Because
what what smells make you sneezy?
there's some like lime, because I'm allergic to it, but even though it's not 100% real, but it just makes me weird. There's like limey.
Pickles?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna burn
So
some
there is this
pumpkin
company
spice,
that makes, huh?
pumpkin spice candle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I do. There's a Skittles one. There's a Skittles candle that my mom got me like 14 years ago or something. It was delicious. I had it for so long, I did not want to turn it on. So there's this company called Inspired Flame Wax Company, and they
Mm-hmm.
make this cute ass tombstone candles that is made out of ceramic. Only $13, by the way, just saying.
Rico.
And they're beautiful. Like guys, I'm being serious. I am going to
You're gonna post the thing, right?
I will,
I
but
love candles.
there
Ooh.
I had to get them. I'm gonna post them, but look.
Oh my god, that's beautiful.
You see how the beautiful candles they are? Yes,
Yes.
Inspired Flames, Inspired Flame Wax on Instagram. I can't wait to get my
Nice.
candles when I do it. Oh, and their base is made out of ceramic, so it's a little,
Yeah,
coffin. I should say it's a coffin, not a tombstone. It's a coffin with the wax inside, but the coffin is made out of cement. I cannot wait to get it.
that is so cute. Look at this.
Yes,
Ooh.
candles are awesome.
Sugar. I love
I like
candles.
when the candles se quema, and then there's the white liquid, and you let it dry so you can get another candle. It's the same.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm doing. Oh no, this one's fine. I have all these candles because my room I have in my little shelves. So all these candles, they're supposed to be for hurricanes. Mentira. I burn them all the time.
I like candles, but like right now I have like this fakey candle. Like I rather this one because I don't want to be prone. I think I'm prone to fires. I have my
Yep.
own stories, so I
Yep.
do not want to burn anything.
That's
I'm the
smart.
type of
Let's not.
person that I just forget. Yay for candles.
Yay for
I don't have
candles.
a lot of candles.
I'm Dominican, so I got real used to having candles all my life because se iba la luz.
Yeah, I know. Me too
The
in Puerto
light, the
Rico.
lights go out in DR, and you had to have candles handy because if not, you was in trouble.
I know, me too. Oh my God, Puerto Rico. But thank God now they have these lights that get you put it in water and it turns on by themselves. Good for that. Thank you, whoever
Ooh,
invented it.
that's awesome. Oh,
Yep.
so now it smells like I love nag champa.
Telling you, all the hustling
Satya.
out there.
Satya.
Yummy.
Do it.
I don't know. I like.
18, the hustle. Say you mentioned the candle people.
There you go. I try to segue into there,
That
but
it worked. It
e-
worked. I just
episode
was not
18
paying attention.
is the hustle episode, and I love supporting small businesses. That's my thing. I love supporting real people because you're feeding them their family. You know,
Absolutely.
just like when people have supported us. By the way, thank you, Brian, for purchasing one of our cups. It's on its
Yay.
way. We promise you. It's just that the parcels and the mail thing is being slow, especially during the pandemic. But we truly, truly, truly appreciate you for purchasing it. You're gonna have
Get your
extra.
mugs.
You're gonna have extra goodies in there. Yes, but get the mugs so we could, give you guys the mugs we have. Available for you. Other than that, you're just gonna get a plain white mug.
Yep.
That's it. I mean, obviously with our logo on it. Duh.
Yeah.
But it's a very light cup, so if you have, problems with your hands or something, it's very light for you to carry it, and you don't feel like you're holding
Chubi
a
gonna
brick.
sell that mug.
I do have. I mean, I suffer from arthritis, so I know how it is to hold a freaking
My
heavy ass
mom steals my mug all the time.
because it's light and it's pretty because it's pink. Hers is pink, mine's is green. So yes.
I love my mugs. I love
No
my mugs.
harm in that.
Nope.
Like we talked in the hustle, we're hustlers too. We have our
Legit.
own. We both have our own shit going on, and we're very proud of who we are. There's nothing wrong with being a hustler. Just remember that if you're
I'm a
watching that,
hustler, baby. I just want you to
remember
know.
that's episode 18. Go watch it before you watch. Um,
Yep. And there's a lot of great local businesses that we mentioned and non-local businesses. And we're still open to you guys sending us more information about businesses that you know of because we like to support small businesses, but also if we can't use it, we're sure we know somebody who does.
just like all those giveaways that happened 2 weeks ago, everybody was like just giving winning. Uh, Giving away like a percentage and stuff. That was a great thing for the community and
I
for
have
the
here that
listeners.
soap for that. Who
Yeah,
was it? The girl who won. This is from Veli Naturals.
and
It's
that
from
and
patchouli,
Danny. Yeah.
and I got a bergamot, an orange bergamot for Danny, which he was like
Mm.
bergamot.
Yeah,
I might just send him lavender because I think that's something that he'll recognize.
right. Oh, I love
I'm
lavender
just gonna
essential
sniff this.
oils. I spray lavender essential oils on my hair because it has a lot of benefits and it's
Oh,
just
I love it.
I woke up and I'm like
Oh, I
it's
live for essential oils. This is my friend Angie, my best friend, got me a bunch of like roll-on essential oils for my birthday. I also like making my own mix. There's like, those packages like Ipsy that sends you makeup for $10 a month. There's
yeah,
another one that I need to remember the name of it. I'll send it to you later because I don't remember the name. But they send you a box and they send you three or four different essential oils. One is a mix and the other one are pure. And they send you coconut oil and almond oil and things like that to mix it because you can't put it directly on your skin. You
same.
shouldn't. And they send you potecitos so that you can make different mixtures of the essential oil are either to put in your food, either to put on your face, to put on your body, whatever the case may be. They show you how to make it. They send you little beads so that you can make bath salts, right? Not the ones that kill you, but the ones that like you put in the shower, like with Epsom salt, and you mix it with essential oils, make your own bath bombs. It's super cute, and you get it monthly, a pack of new stuff. So you can just be making it either for yourself or to give away as gifts. There's nothing yummier than doing stuff yourself and giving it, because you're giving the gift of a lovely product, but you're also giving your labor of love.
Yeah, you should never put the essential oil directly to your face. Too much of it can actually cause a little bit of harm. Um,
Burn.
a burn, yeah. I put essential oil. I meant to say tea tree oil on one of my. I think I have something on my face and it was hurting me, but I don't use ¿Cómo se dice eso? Clorox. I'm not Clorox. Wow, alcohol.
Uh, Alcohol.
Peroxide. I don't use peroxide
Oh,
on my
peroxide.
face, so I use that instead, and it heals so well.
Oh, I
Tea
love
tree
it.
oil, I love it.
Tea tree oil. I put it when my face breaks out. It
It's
zaps it. It's an
delicious.
antiseptic.
Right. I put lavender and peppermint when I'm showering, y el olor que sale de ahí, I'm like, oh my God, I'm never leaving.
This is lavender, and lavender helps with sleep and whatnot. But it also, like, if you get a burn and you put
So
lavender oil on it, heals the burn and no scarring.
it's so delicious. I love putting it on my hair because it restores, oh my God, the properties. But you
Yeah.
have to use it in in a decent quantity because you know you it's it could become bad. So
Yep.
that's awesome though. Oh my God, we learn so
Um,
much from little things here and then. It's like you don't even realize.
Jet, episode 19, body image.
That episode was interesting. We needed to
Yeah.
talk about body image because we all go through it. So it was really necessary, especially when we both struggle with it in our own ways, and we know
Yeah.
people who struggle with it too. Having a
Yeah.
talk about it, I know it put everybody in a very uncomfortable position,
But it's
and
necessary.
but it's necessary.
Because what are, we talked in previous episodes about wanting to normalize certain things. This is one of those things to normalize, having the difficult conversations, being uncomfortable. Like Brené Brown says, sit in your uncomfortability. That's where the growth happens. And it's really funny because we both do have those body image things, and look at how different we are, right? And I think that that is one of the fairest and most aware things that one can realize, that body image is not relegated to someone who is plus size. It's not relegated to someone who has any sort of physical um, difference, like scars or anything like that. It has to do, it's a you thing,
Right,
right? And what we have seen and accepted as truth, right? Each person accepts a different thing about what society puts out there as the norm, as to what is
right,
acceptable for body image, what's beautiful, what's desirable, what's lovable, right? And then we all internalize that differently based on our upbringing and based on what we're exposed to,
right. And if you don't look like this or don't look like that, then you're wrong. Like there's something
right?
wrong with you that you have
And
to.
what I may have internalized as being beautiful and what to emulate, it could be completely different for you, right?
Right.
It could be completely different to someone else who to me is the epitome of beauty, and to maybe them I'm the epitome of beauty.
Right, exactly what I was about to say. Exactly, yeah.
So I get real mad. I get real mad when I hear, and I'm guilty because maybe I used to be one of these people, but I know that it makes me mad now. When I hear somebody, I still say like, "Ay, what you complaining about? Si tú eres flaca?" But it gets mad. I get mad when somebody like tears down someone thin.
Right.
What does that make it any different from you tearing down someone who's larger?
Right.
Cero.
La misma.
Why
Mhm.
do you have to tear down anybody, period? You don't have to live in that body or that skin and
With the
feel those
scar.
feels every day. Why would you want to add to that for someone?
That's true.
Um, at I know that for me in the last couple of months has been a lot of harsh growth, but I'm feeling real good. And that episode, very important, because I remember when we first started talking about this episode, even I was like, I ain't ready. Can it be further ahead? Can we be
Right,
further
right.
ahead? And it's like, no, you gotta,
We have to do
therapist,
it.
therapist Helen, like, I gotta face it. You gotta expose
Yeah,
yourself to the thing that you fear. Yeah,
we also have to sit in our uncomfortableness. We also have to sit on it and do it. Like, what's the whole point of doing this podcast if we can't be honest with ourselves? Like, yeah, we
absolutely.
said it. We are uncomfortable right now, but we're gonna freaking talk about it and we're gonna do it. And if we cry later about it, we cry later about it. But we did it, and now we have to
Absolutely.
heal. Those are healing steps, baby steps to be better. So,
Baby steps,
like,
baby steps.
I don't know if you guys remember that post I posted about loving your body by Amy
Yeah,
Poehler, that she says go around your body and kind of thank it for what it gives you, and thank yourself for your great eyesight, or your thick hair, your nice legs, or your strong teeth, or whatever it is that you have that you were given, and make friends with those parts of your body, and not try to focus on the parts that will never change. If
yeah,
you go right now to your thighs, thank you for being my thigh. I like you.
yeah.
Little things like that, like my hair. Like, I do love my hair, but there's certain things that you can't change, and if you're able to change it, go for it. If it's gonna make you better, feel
I've
better.
heard it. I've heard it said many times. Like I've seen the memes, I've seen the videos. I see, you know, it, it's so funny because you can hear something and see something 1,005 times, and it doesn't register
Right,
until you're meant to hear it, until it's meant to register and assimilate.
right,
And for me, it took somebody who I love and appreciate and respect telling me, you know, how it affected them hearing me, self-deprecate or speak negatively about my body or being unappreciative or not, because I would have physical, like actual physical responses to my dislike for something on my body, right? Like feeling physically ill, which is really sad. Um, and they told me, they helped me kind of reframe by saying that body, it houses you, it gets you around. This body allows me to be a performer, allows me to hug the people I love, right? It has given me, despite anything else, I've been healthy. It's giving me, it's a nice nose to breathe air in.
yeah,
So there are the pluses, and it is a journey. Everybody's like body positive, body positive. I'm always try to be 1,005%. It's a journey to body positive. There's days where, yeah, I'm like, coño, qué buena tú estás. And then
right,
there's days where I'm like, I cannot wear a potato sack big enough. And it's just how I feel. You know what I mean? But little by little, pushing that radical self love bit helps you accept that the imperfections are minimal by comparison to like all the other things that should shine through about you, right? And the people that appreciate you and see you for you versus el chunky, or the stretch marks or whatever, those are the people that should be around you. The other ones are what's going to build your character and make you like,
right.
the
And that's the
differences.
thing. Like, those people are not looking at that. You're looking at that. So those people that love you, they're not looking at your stretch marks or your imperfections, because they're, to them, like you said, they're looking at a different you than you are. So to
Yeah,
them, you're perfect. So that's all they care about.
right.
And yeah, it is hard for them to also hear it, because they don't understand where you're coming from, and if they do, it's like, I didn't know you felt that way. And that's the hardest part. Be
You
like,
throw
yeah,
yourself under the bus. Yeah.
I look this way, but you don't understand how hard it took for me to be here now,
Yeah.
and the struggles, and then the night crying, and the texting of I hate my body, or what do I do? What can I do to change this? Or, oh my God, I am changing this, and oh my God, I achieved my goal. Or, but there are certain things you cannot change. You cannot change your skin color or the way your face looks. Well, maybe the skin color thing because we've seen weird shit, but you know what I'm getting at. It's just that it is tough, and
Yeah.
for you to your first step to admit to somebody I do not like the way that I look is hard.
Yeah.
And it can become tough because obviously some people dismiss it. They're like, "You're perfect," and I'm like, "Wow, thank you for listening to me."
Yeah.
Next, and then there's gonna be somebody that's gonna be there and listen to you and be like, "I understand. If you need anybody, I'm there for you, but don't lose the bigger picture."
Yeah.
And
And because it's hard, because especially if like you love a person and you see them for all they are, you want to tell them, but you're so this and you're so great. And
right,
it's hard to find the words to not intentionally, like you say, invalidate or dismiss their feelings because you think wonders of them. But the fact is that how they feel about themselves is what's prevalent at that moment, right?
right,
And they're not going to hear or see what you see because that's not where they're at.
right,
And it is a journey. And for the person that is in that space, because I've been in that space, I live in that space a lot, it's remembering that you can be there for a minute, don't dwell, don't linger,
right. Because
right?
it's not gonna do anything. Yeah.
Because I did myself more harm in living in that space where I was disgusted by myself and not allowing the people who love me just as I am to love me.
To
I almost kind of pushed, right? Imposed my own feelings on them, almost shifting them to feel the way I feel about me,
right,
right? Not that they did or that they, acted on it, but that could happen. And I'm doing that to myself.
right.
Sometimes we cause our own heartache. Don't don't cause your own heartache when you don't have to.
That's true. But also, the people that you are talking to about your feelings, they should also understand that it's not about them, it's about you.
Mhm.
And them saying or invalidating or dismissing, like we keep saying, "Oh, but you're perfect," or this or that, they should understand that, wait, I'm just here to listen. I
Yeah.
get it. I think they're perfect, but to them, they're not. This is not about me. And not take it personal. That's one of the biggest shit of life. Do not take anything personal. Like if right now you tell me, Chubby, I do not like this X, Y, and Z. And I'd be like, but those are the parts that I love about you. Did I listen to you? No, I did
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing about people. People take it personal. And you tell me, or you get mad at me for not listening, then I took it personal because I
And then it's the back and forth.
right. So
Like
that's
people
another
should be.
thing. It's about sitting there and listening to the other person and understanding where they're coming from. Again, it's not about you. You're just listening ears, someone to lean on. They're venting. So that's
Yeah.
another thing, guys. You have to remember that when someone goes to you, they're not trying to find a solution. They're venting. They just want someone to hear them.
Right.
They
I
want
just learned something about that recently, that they're just venting. Sometimes, and then this is where there's the potential to take things personal. Someone goes to vent because they feel comfortable and confident, like just word vomiting their thoughts as they are, raw and unfiltered and uncoordinated. And you respond to that, right? Because you take it personal and you get reactive versus, you know, listening and versus being responsive to what they're actually trying to say. And it's like sometimes people just want to get it out, however it comes out, right? It's not always, um, don't always listen to respond.
right. The biggest thing.
Hear them. There's a difference between listening and hearing. Yeah.
And again, when they're venting, they're not there for a solution. At the end, don't say, "Well, you could do this to help that." No, you're making it worse. Again, we're not therapists, but from experience, you never say that to somebody. "Oh, but you're able to change it. Why do you care? Why are you dwelling on it?" Listen, I could dwell on it for as long as the freak I want, and then I'm gonna get over it, and then I'm gonna do something about it. But if you're not the person I could
But
go
the
to,
more, yeah, the more you tell them don't, the more they will. I'm a perpetual fixer, and I've been working on this to not do that. Because I always want to be like, let me fix it for you. Let me make it. It's not my job.
I wish we could
Right?
live in each other's shoes for like 24 hours. I am not a fixer.
It's really, but I feel like there's a balance, right?
Right.
I need to learn to not want or need to fix every damn thing for the people in my life.
Right.
Because there's a beauty and a lesson to the not fixing it for someone, right? And
Right.
also when you fix everything for certain people, you teach people how to treat you.
Right.
And if
Mm,
you make it so easy, then you're not really building a relationship. You're building a sort of codependent caca. Like it's just weird. So don't do it. And but the fixing is very real. Like you want to see the people that you care about happy and you want to help them. An assist is different than a fix.
right.
A support is different than a fix. My go-to will always want to be to save the day, rescue, fix. But you try to put more emphasis on the best line I ever learned, therapist Helen. How can I best support you?
I'm the type of person that I am there for people the way I want people to be there for me. So if I want somebody to listen to me, I'm gonna be that for someone. I'm gonna listen to them and just be there to listen. And how can I? Is there anything I could do? Just like you said, is there anything I could do to make it better? If not, I'm still gonna be here to listen. Oh, I know I could cheer you up. Let me send you something. You know,
And be ready for whatever that is. Has been hard for you. I'm sure you're like, okay, that's what it is. That's what it is. I do know I'm not that person, truly. To me, it's still like I process. How can I best support you? Sometimes can look like I just need space for like a week. Like, don't talk to me. That's that's hard for me because I just want to be there. I want to love you. Let me love you.
but it's
Sometimes,
communication.
right? But sometimes in the middle of it, sometimes you give that person that space, and in less than a week, they're like, okay, right? And you do need to let people that love you, and be there for you. But it's a balance. If that's what they're asking for at the moment, it can change. But if you're not willing to give it to them and respect that boundary or that need, you're adding to the stress, right? Um, it can look like I just need a hug. I just need this reminder. Somebody told me that. How can I best support you? I'm like, remind me why I do this because sometimes I'll forget. Remind me that I'm doing this because I want to be here at this point in my life or this, da, da, da. Just remind me that. That's what I need from you. And you might need something from one person and something completely different from another person. And it doesn't mean you care about them any less. It just means that that support is different, right? That dynamic is different. And you can count on them for that particular thing. So,
But like we've mentioned before in about the second circle is a give and take. Like if there's
oh, yeah.
communication being given and then back and forth, then we're able to understand each other. But if it's only a one-sided, if you didn't know that this person needed space, then you're not gonna know, and you're gonna be there, and then they're gonna still feel suffocated because they didn't know. I mean,
Yep.
they didn't communicate that, but because they communicated that, yeah. What we've learned is that with communication, love, respect, and understanding, we could get somewhere.
Oh, absolutely.
And actually
Absolutely.
caring from the bottom of your heart about someone.
Yeah. And
Oh,
working towards
I wanna cry.
solutions, towards growth. What?
I said, oh, I wanna cry.
Oh,
Because it's true. That's all you could do. Like all you could do is just be there for someone. But they have
yeah.
to communicate that. Because it does become hard. And I get it, but it's just frustrating when you get to the point of like, how can I help you? But you're not letting yourself be helped.
I feel you.
And then everything just gets lost because of the lack of communication.
Yeah.
And that's what I've learned throughout the episodes. It's like about letting yourself be loved and communicate that too. Like this is my time. Like I want to be loved. I want to be cared for. And it's hard, and I get it. Some people don't know how to communicate that. They don't know how to express that. Like we've said, but it's like, are you in such a dark place that you really are literally willing to just drop off the face of the earth and not let anybody know, it becomes hard.
Ah, I was doing good and not crying until you just said that last part, because I do have people in my life that that's how they deal. And, you try to be respectful of people and in their spaces.
Yeah, but for how long though? You're
Right.
literally pushing the person away to where now you're feeling like you have your doubts of like, am I good enough? Knowing damn well that it has nothing to do with you. It's just that this other person imposed that belief of them, like you said earlier,
Right.
onto you, and now you feel like how they feel.
Right. But also, it also, a part of that hurt and that desire to, like, let me be there for you is, you see them hurting and it hurts you. You don't
Exactly.
necessarily, like, we're empaths to the nth degree, both of us. So it becomes a crying fest a lot for us in our private meetings. But you don't have to be an empath to like see someone that you love deeply, like when you really love someone deeply,
Right.
hurting, and them not allowing you to be there for them in any way,
Right.
right? Or vocalizing, right? And not vocalizing, telling you, because sometimes
Right.
it could be a text. uh how what that support would look like, if it is space, if it is this, but at least letting them know, hey, I'm gonna need a minute, because it's allowing them to know you matter to me, but I'm not there right now.
Right.
And that's really meaningful, because yes, dropping off the face of the earth is a little harsh.
That's why I think that knowing about yourself and who you are first and how you behave and what matters to you and how you function, just like the love languages and the plur and everything, how you function matters first before you're able to go out into the world to love anybody, to do anything. Because if you
Absolutely.
do not know yourself first, you're not going to get anywhere because you're
Right.
lost. And it's like you need to find yourself. You need to know who you are. You need to know how you think and how you will behave when other people are reactive. And this is why they say self love is important. Love your body, everything, just everything. It deals with you,
Yeah.
but you have to be there for you too. If you're
My
not there for
friend,
yourself,
yeah, my friend Jenny taught me the phrase, because she had a friend that would say this to her. You know, everybody has their thing. Different people feel about touch differently. But like, once she'd already been in this person's life for a while, they would go to hug her, and she'd still get squeamish. She's like, they had to get in. They had to get in. And little by little, it started being better and easier for her to just. And I say
right,
that to my cats, and I say that to the people in my life who I've become very close to, who have been accustomed to a certain type of treatment. Because we also have to remember, you gotta, like I've said before, work with people's drugs,
right,
right? We all come from different places. A lot of where we are emotionally now, our attachment styles and all of that, comes from how we were raised, how we've
right.
been loved in the past, how we've been treated,
Our experiences, yeah,
our experiences, and reframing that, right? Or 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 changing those perspectives or those responses takes time, takes just as long as it took to put them there in the first place. Sometimes, we can hope for it to happen sooner, but if it took 20 years to learn a particular behavior, we can't expect a week, right, of experience to replace that.
right.
And in my experience, but we also have to be willing to be receptive,
Right.
right? Be open to that change, be open to that growth, because if someone spends a certain amount of time in your life proving to you that it's different from the what you've had experienced in the past, allow that to be true
Right.
until it's not, right? Allow it to be true, because if they've proven it time and again, it's probably real, right? People tell you who they are, believe them when they tell you.
Just
Maya
like
Angelou.
just like we say, but those people have like people have walls up. Those walls very high where they're not
Mhm.
letting anybody climb it. They're not letting anybody go through it. They're not putting them down, and it becomes hard. Because like you said, you're not letting yourself be loved because you still on with fear. You still
Yep.
have that fear.
And, ooh, fear is a crazy one, right? Remember when we did the episode about shame? One of the higher or the lower vibrations that we know that our bodies, everything in the world, it's not would you juju. It's scientific. Everything works on vibrations. And one of the lower vibrations was fear and what it causes in us, and how shame stems from fear, fear stems from shame, right? And my friend has this awesome saying. He literally has it tattooed across his chest: follow your fear. And we've all heard the quotes: everything you want is on the other side of fear,
Right, what set you
and
free.
it's true. And it's true. Our fears sometimes paralyze us, and no one's pushing you to do something that you're not ready for that'll cause you more harm.
Right,
No, no. Big elephant, don't do it.
right,
Baby steps, baby steps. But and and in therapy, they'll do. I've seen therapist Helen do her thing, and it's exposures, little baby exposures,
right,
right? You're not gonna be like, okay, I'm afraid of heights. I'm gonna go jump off a cliff. Maybe you're that person and you're okay with that. But if what you're okay with is, I'm afraid of heights, I'm gonna go out and stand on my friend's balcony for 5 minutes and then come back in, you're still facing your fear.
right,
You're still doing the thing. And eventually you'll jump out of that airplane, right? If
right.
you really want to. But it's little things like that where you do face those fears and allow yourself to be loved. Sometimes allowing yourself to be loved, to be vulnerable, to be seen, right? To be seen for who you are because you believe it to be flawed or too different or whatever. Sometimes all of those things are scary as shit.
But at the end of the day, you're true to yourself, and that's what matters.
And then the people that stick around despite all of that,
Are the people that are meant to be there.
that's your tribe.
Hmm.
Oh, now I'm gonna cry. Oh, we're doing great.
But guys, it's just that it's true though. You may think it's like, oh, whatever, but it's true though. Like, we may sound hippy dippies to you guys, but it's the freaking truth. Like, I mean, we all lived it in some way, or experienced it somehow, but it's true. Like,
Yeah.
for example, when I was starting to do this podcast, I was still scared sometimes to do it live because I'm afraid of all this, like the audience, you guys out there, like it's scary as shit. Who's looking at me? Who's watching? And it's not about the fear of like judgment. I don't care about that. It's just that holy shit, there's billions of people watching me out there. That's scary to me. I have anxiety. I get nervous. I'm always like shaking. I have to mentally prepare myself to do this. But guess what? I freaking do it because it's important to us, to
Yep.
Vanessa and I, to do this episode every Monday. And it could get scary, but I'm being seen, and
Yep.
that's scary. So,
Thank you for letting yourself be seen and for
oh yeah, and
being
then I'm just gonna
on
go
this.
hide.
No, we've got like so many more episodes.
We
Yo,
have a ton shit of more
we
episodes.
have episodes all the way to the new year, like set up, ready to rumble.
Guys, I can't wait for you guys to see season 3. We're working on a couple of things out there for you guys, and
Yeah.
we're gonna make it. We're
Yeah,
gonna
man.
be like all the way into season 22, and guess what? It's gonna because of us and because of you and because we want this. If you want something, you're gonna work towards it, even though it scares the living crap out of you. And that's
Yep.
that's what matters, right? We want to change the world. Baby steps still lead you forward. Again, it's true.
Yep.
I'm gonna cry for real. I'm gonna cry.
I'm like holding it here. You see, I'm just like, "No, okay." Do can Chubby's book corner be Chubi's movie selection for Halloween.
18.
I have three. If you got three, we got six movies to talk about.
Okay, so I'll choose three. Okay, children. Oh well, Children of the Corn. I was gonna say all parts 1 through 5. I always hated them. They're
I
scary little fuckers.
I've never seen them. It's funny because I make references to Children of the Corn, but I've never seen the movies.
You should. Children are evil. I don't
I
like.
love children. Actually, the reference that I make is I used to call my students when they were acting a fool. I'd be like, "Listen, Children of the Corn." They never knew what I was talking about. I didn't even know what I was talking about.
Yeah, that's a terrible reference. I use that again. Village of the Damned. More kids.
Oh
Goddamn
my,
kids.
what is
They
it
have
with you and scary?
they have like white hair, and then they possess the adults.
What? No. Okay.
You guys should watch it. And obviously other Freddy Krueger movies, all of them, love them. Go watch them.
I am surprised you didn't mention your favorite movie.
Of course, Donnie Darko, but everybody knows that. They already know about the Labyrinth. Everybody knows that, and they already know about the Craft, which are my top three always. But I'm gonna derive from my
You're
usual.
gonna do
Everybody knows that.
newbie.
See, look,
Look at
Frank.
that, Frank. I love
Everybody
that
knows
movie.
that. If they're watching this and they don't know those are my top three, shame on you. Oh, it's gonna
Fired.
fired.
I'll give you guys the cartoon ones or like
Yes,
the
what are
cute.
what are your three favorites?
My always for Halloween.
Mhm.
I'll be wearing my t-shirt in upcoming days, which is my Hocus Pocus t-shirt. Hocus Pocus. I just saw it the other day. There's a movie, and I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but it's one of my favorite Halloween movies. It's so beautiful. I've never found it. I need it in my life again. It's called The Halloween Tree. It is one
Hmm.
of the most beautiful Halloween animations ever of life. I love
Never
it.
heard of it.
And I won't be that guy to mention Nightmare Before Christmas because everybody and their mother.
Right.
Um, Another movie that I would say is like Halloween magic, and then one must is oh oh man, Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh yeah. Oh,
The
but that's
Rocky Horror Picture Show is like
that's the
oh,
right.
but I'm
We
really
can't
like
spoil
old school scary films like Nosferatu, like the original. That's Dracula.
it.
But I'm like old school, like black and white film Nosferatu. I dig. And there was another one that I can't remember. It's The Bride of Frankenstein,
Oh, I love that one
which is
too.
a comedy, but it's so great.
You guys could tell that our horrors are in two different spectrum of horror, but still good.
Yeah, I don't watch too many scary films now that I think about it. Like,
I watch horrifying movies from all spectrum. Even
what's the,
Halloween
what's what's the movie? What's the movie that was man the house was haunted and all the little kids from the fireplace like the guy had a bunch of kids and they ended up burning a lot. And then
Google.
the house is haunted. I don't know. House on Haunted Hill, is that what it is? No. Or
I don't know.
si-
There's a lot of movies of children. Children. The children are
but
taking
the
over.
children are good in this one. The guy was the bad one.
Yes, yes, and he okay. I don't know if you
How
guys.
can I forget this? The Witches.
Yes, I saw them a couple of days ago. Yeah.
The original Witches. And now they're coming out with a new one. I'm very interested to see what that's like.
Yes, I actually heard about that. Yeah, you're right. I think Netflix has one. I think,
Yeah.
or is that a series? It don't matter. But what I know,
Netflix has the original and soon the new one
right?
will be coming out there. But Netflix, we give you way too much publicity, Netflix.
And you famous already. Y'all want
Yeah.
to sponsor us?
And y'all did some bad recently. So.
Ooh.
But I'm very proud of them. They have another original coming out called Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, starring Viola Davis, and it's one of my favorite August Wilson plays.
Okay, well, I should check it out because I don't know what the hell you're talking about. So
Te habla en chino.
Right. But I love learning new things and seeing new things and things that are like I don't like cartoon like movies, but I'm willing to watch like a scary cartoon movie if it's really good. You know,
There is a movie you will love, and see, Lucas introduced me to this movie, and it's gorgeous. And I guess it could feed into the Halloweeny bit because it's got that Nightmare Before Christmas vibe,
what is it
right?
called?
It's called Jack and the Cuckoo Clock Heart.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yes. It's
It
I it's a
destroyed me.
stop
I cried.
it's a stop motion?
No,
No, okay.
no, no.
But I
But it's
love stop motion. One of my favorite stop motion film is Coraline.
oh, so is that stop motion? Then maybe it is. Yes, it is. Then
Yeah, like Nightmare Because Christmas is stop motion. So it's
okay. So then
picture by
yes,
frame.
yeah.
Oh, I love
Okay,
yes,
it's
I've
very
seen
Tim
it, but
Burton-y. The cinematography is gorgeous. It's a musical type movie, but the music is very David Bowie, very Beatles. It's
ooh,
badass.
okay.
I
Yeah.
dig. I
I
dig.
love stop motion. Coraline, hands down. Obviously, people know
Coraline, and that's another badass movie. Coraline.
freaking beautifully made. Obviously, you could put in a Halloween theme if you like, but it's obviously not meant to be Halloweeny. It's just that it's so freaking, just everything about it.
Yeah.
But that's I consider that a cartoon. But the stop motion is what makes me want to be like,
Yeah.
okay, we'll talk about this one.
A fun fact before we go about Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't know if this is true. Maybe
Mm,
you know if it's true. But I heard this the other day and it blew my freaking mind. Blew my mind. Corpse Bride,
mm-hmm.
Nightmare Before Christmas, and what's the other one? Frankenweenie.
They are
So it
related.
starts that they're related. You
It's a
knew
like
this.
a
Shut
continuation.
up. They were all tied together and I didn't
They
know that.
are. They are.
Freaks me out. Frankenweenie and then goes into Corpse Bride that then goes into Nightmare Before Christmas.
I thought it was backwards.
Frankenweenie's first because that's when he's a kid
That's
and
why. Oh
the
well, they
dog
came out different years, but yeah, I get it.
yeah, and the body's still corporeal. And then Corpse Bride, the dog is huesos
See, see.
and he's an adult. And then Nightmare Before Christmas, he's a skeleton and the dog is a ghost.
Yeah, I just got confused because they came out different. It came out backwards.
Yeah.
So by the
He
time
has
Frank,
a different love interest every movie.
mm, esa es otra cosa. Sounds like real life. But anyway, um, what do you want to tell the audience? What do you want to let everybody?
Um, thank you so much for helping us get to episode 20. We can't wait to get to episode 30. It's coming. We got a lot of episodes for you guys. Keep loving, practice and push towards that radical honesty, radical transparency, radical self love, and understand other people, understand different cultures, read about it, learn about it. Don't stay in your own bubble. We're not in a space anymore in this world and in this era to be in our own private bubbles. There's too much going on in the world, and we all deserve to share the love and share the knowledge. That's what I got to say about that.
We cannot afford to be in this bubble and pretend everything's okay because you're part of the problem.
Yep.
If you have love to give, spread that, you know,
Right.
and inform yourself and and just try to get knowledgeable in everything. Reading is freaking essential. You know, you have to want to be better and to learn, you know, because if not you're just going to be stuck in the same patterns and you're not going to, you know, evolve and be better and grow. You're just going to be the same person you were 10 years ago with your same mindsets, and guess what did you learn? Nothing. And you're
Nothing.
going to pass that down to your kids if you have any, to your nephews, to whoever.
Absolutely.
And love, respect, and be understanding and be receptive to one another. You know, make a brighter a day, you know. And remember, we believe in recycling, upcycle, that's another thing. We
Yes.
believe in just loving each
Supporting
other,
local businesses.
supporting local businesses. And thank you for listening to us, because it is true, without you guys we wouldn't have this passion to actually continue making more videos and saying, oh my god, this topic is important, you
Yes.
know.
And your perspectives has shaped our has shifted our lot of our perspectives as well. There's always
That's
room for
true.
growth and for opening our eyes, and normalizing things that we have been taught are different or weird or unacceptable, that really just are part of the human experience.
Exactly. So we thank you. And with that being said, stay fearless and have a good night.